Hey folks, hope you're doing well. Uh, this is not a podcast, but I want to do a quick video just talking a little bit about my podcasting experience and the guests that took time to appearing on Snowpal's podcast this week. A big thank you to everybody who did. They're very gracious and kind to take time and to have the conversation with me. Some of the podcasts I've had this week in particular, at least in the last couple of days, I just want to call out for that because it's fresh in my memory. But there's a lot more that I've done in the past. Definitely do go to spotify.snowpal.com or apple.snowpal.com to check out those podcasts. I've had a fair number of guests show up on the podcast at this point. There's more guests who are going to who've kindly agreed to also talk about different topics. I'm looking eagerly looking forward to those topics. But I want to just mention some of the discussions I've had in the last day or two. I met with Desi, who lives in France, and we talked about content marketing. Now, she's like a brilliant content marketer. We've had a lovely conversation. I'm going to publish it shortly, so definitely watch out, tune in, and learn, everything about content marketing. We're going to have more sessions, but at least we've scratched the surface. I had a conversation with Valentina, who lives in Spain, about remote work and the challenges that remote work brings to the table. That was a lovely conversation. Again, I hope to have a lot more sessions with Valentina, but that was the first one. I had my second conversation with Kramer about AI in automated economy. It was, needless to mention, another lovely, lovely conversation. So I've learned plentiful in the sessions so far. A big thank you to Valentina, to Desi, to Kramer for agreeing to have these conversations with me, and to the guests who took time to show up on my previous podcast, and to the guests who actually I'll be having a conversation with. I completely understand that you do not have to do this, but you chose to do it, and I'm very grateful to you for doing that. It's been lovely talking to real people. I don't, most of my podcasts I do solo, just look at the machine and talk to it, which is fine, but it's not nearly as much fun as talking to real people and learning from folks. I'm going to have a podcast later this evening with Vidhi on we're going to talk about social media and its impact on mental health. So that kind of summarizes the podcast in the last couple of days, if you will. I'm going to publish them, shortly. Definitely tune in. Go to again our whichever platform you like to consume the podcast on. We also posted on YouTube. I don't know if you post all of them, but a fair number of them on YouTube as well. So definitely check it out. And if you have more questions, some of you have had questions, and I'm trying to ask those questions to my guests as they pop in to these podcasts subsequently. I'm living and learning as somebody who hasn't done much of this from a collaborative standpoint. So if I know I have a lot, there's a lot of room to improve personally for me. But thanks to my guests for being patient with me trying to set up the camera, the audio, the light, and everything. There's a tiny bit of chaos, if you will, before the podcast, but hopefully I don't, bring that to the podcast. And folks who've been talking about these topics are experts in those areas. They have done it for a long period of time. They're very passionate about those topics, which is, a lot of the topics are actually chosen by folks who appear on these podcasts as well. So I'm super stoked about the ones I've published, about the ones I'm going to publish, and about the ones we are going to have conversations about. With that said, if you're watching this, you watch any of the podcasts, you have a topic that you feel it's near and dear to you, and you want to have a conversation about it, and you'd like to be a guest, don't hesitate to hit me up, and we can certainly try to make that happen. That's basically it. I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, have a wonderful holiday season, very Happy New Year to you. There's still a week to go, and I have a number of podcasts actually lined up actually. So my holidays are going to be spent talking to people, learning about a variety of different things, and it's super exciting because the topics are quite varied, and folks also happen to live in different parts of the world. So there's cultural learnings, there's engineering learnings, technology learnings, all facets of learning, if you will. That's essentially it. Check out our products. Go to snowpal.com to check out our web application. You can download our mobile apps from the App and Play Store by going to ios.snowpal.com or android.snowpal.com. If you're a business that's building mobile apps, web apps, microservices, and you actually want to integrate APIs or backends, you're looking for backends and services, so you don't have to spend 3 months or 6 months building, hiring folks to design, develop, architect, implement, test, and maintain and deploy backend offerings. You should check out our APIs. Go to like saas.snowpal.com. We have a variety of APIs solving a large number of problems. The idea is you can integrate those APIs and go to market a whole lot sooner. Now you can consume the APIs either pay per use. We have different pricing models that works for a wide variety of business consumers. But if you want to deploy those solutions in your own infrastructure, we sell commercial licenses as well, right? So, we are more than happy to work with you in making you be a lot more successful than you might already be, and enabling you to go to market a whole lot sooner. So you're not spending time building things that you don't really have to build. And you're focusing your energies on doing something that's very specific to your consumer or end user problems. Uh, that's about it. Thank you, and I will talk to you soon.